Hello, my sexy muffins, and welcome back to another video. In this video, we are doing a Patreon video, which I had to re-record because I hated the audio in the original one because it was poo-poo because of allergies, so I had to redo it. Sorry, Gav. Sorry, Wicked. This is a Patreon video for Wicked Brony. It's her turn up, and yes. So, Wicked Brony, we're going to be doing for you I am cooking like a rotisserie chicken because of pots. Can't help that. I'm taking it slow though. I have an ice pack. Yada yada. Anyways. Whew. Roasted. Anyways. So this is a Patreon video of Chibi Soulmate AU where soulmates have a chibi version of their soulmate so they know what they look like and everything. Very good. So that is what it is. So Clef and Kondraki are both yandere for each other. They have not met yet, but they have a chibi version of their soulmates. And this is going to be Kondraki with his chibi version of Alto Clef before he meets Alto Clef at the Foundation. So yes, let's do this. Sorry if you hear the ice pack crinkling in the background. It's me adjusting it because I honestly feel like I'm roasting alive. If it doesn't get better, I might have to pause the video. Anyways, let's get on to business. Disclaimer, Kondraki and Clef are not yandere in canon. This is just for fun and not to be taken seriously at all. Simping for fictional characters and yanderes and shipping them is fine, as long as you're not illegal or gross about it, and that you remember to separate fiction from reality and headcanon from canon. Yanderes are not ideal partners to have in real life, and all that stuff. Also remember to separate fiction from reality and headcanon from canon. Thank you. Now on to the video. Oh, also, this is obviously not the main canon of the SCP Foundation universe. It is an AU, so it's very AU, but since the Foundation is a very large foundation, it is likely that this could happen somewhere in the multiverse. Anyways, let's get on to business. Kondraki was working in his office with his mini Clef, doing what mini Clef does, which was basically sitting down and pouting because right now Kondraki was keeping a close eye on him to make sure he doesn't cause chaos. Since his mini soulmates, or mini Clef as we will call him, mini Clef like to cause chaos and run about and do a lot of things that Alto Clef likes to do, that the mini version likes to do the same things as regular Alto Clef. Kondraki loves his soulmate already before meeting him, and he adores his mini, but his mini can be a pain in the butt. Very, very, very much pain in the butt. And it ends up with Kondraki having to do a lot of maintenance and such to keep mini Clef in line. He did not know that Alto Clef worked at the Foundation as well and was at the same level as him. The Foundation does their best to keep soulmates separate for various reasons until they deem it okay to happen. And also, fraternizing and stuff is very difficult. It's surprising still that Kondraki and Clef have not crossed paths yet. So, Kondraki is about to take his lunch break when he turns around and mini Clef was missing. Where the frick? He noticed his ID badge was missing as well, and he called into the security guards over the intercom to come get him with a new badge so he can get out and find where Mini Clef has run off to. Mini Clef was wanting to do his job as he's supposed to. He's not allowed to tell Kondraki that he is a human. His large version of himself works here, but Mini Clef wanted to do his job, which ended up being quite chaotic, with him running down to see SCP-682. And of course, Mini Clef was having the time of his life, running around people and biting people's shins. He did not give a frick. He loved the chaos and loved being who he was. Finally, he makes it down to the area of SCP-682, but wasn't allowed in. This pissed him off, and then he ran around the corner trying to look for another way in when he runs into another mini. This mini was a mini version of his Kondraki. And when he saw the mini version, his heart started to race and his palms started to sweat. Kondraki was losing his mind meanwhile during all this, looking for his mini and having no such luck. Mini Kondraki also saw Clef and was having his heart race and his palms become sweaty. Suddenly, the two started arguing about who was going to be the one who started off the relationship. Mini Clef and Mini Kondraki were more so tied with the soulmate thing than their bigger versions and normal versions would be. They are based off the bond, so they already have the connection and everything. And of course, they would start arguing because they butt heads. But it was adorable, them arguing and fighting while they were both stealing glances at each other. It was really cute and really adorable. Kondraki was having a hard time. Eventually, he did find the two, who were now fighting and wrestling on the floor. What are you two? He realized that the other mini was himself. So that means his soulmates worked in the Foundation. He picked up both of them by their jackets and they started thrashing their arms and legs in his hold, looking like a weird anime scene of someone holding Chibis. You two are in some big trouble, he says to the many versions of himself and Mini Clef. Kondraki just crosses his arm and glares at his bigger version, the Mini Kondraki, and Mini Clef just sticks out his tongue. They were both being immature and not wanting to deal with big Kondraki. Mini Kondraki then took out a picture and flashed a picture of Clef, and Clef blinked at him and then flipped him off. It was adorable and sweet, and Kondraki knew, the big one, that Mini Kondraki and Mini Clef were going to be a handful. He puts them under his arms and starts looking for the actual Clef so he can find him. If he was correct, it must be Alto Clef, and it wasn't just a mere coincidence. He didn't know why he didn't put two and two together. He's an idiot. He starts to walk around and look for the Alto Clef, knowing that he wouldn't be too far, when suddenly a breach alarm goes off. SCP-076-2 has broken from containment, and he was running around with his mini Jack Bright on his back and looking for his soulmate. He learned recently that his soulmate is here, and he was going to find him, no matter what. Meanwhile, Kondraki had to go to a safe room with the two minis sitting on his laps and holding hands with each other. They made sure no one was looking as they did so and snuggled close to each other, happy to be safe with each other. Kondraki also pulled Mini Clef close to him, and Kondraki pulled them both close to him. No one was going to hurt his Mini Clef. And since his Mini Clef appreciate Mini Kondraki, no one was going to hurt Mini Kondraki. It was almost like having kids almost, but just mini versions of you that are chaos gremlins. And he waited for the breach to be over, while Mini Clef and Mini Kondraki cuddled in his arms, nodding off with their heads resting on each other's. It was so freaking adorable! Anyways, so that's the start. I also added SCP-076-2 with Mini Jack because that's going to be another part of this universe, just a different story from their perspective. Anyways, I hope that you all enjoyed this. If you would like to see more, comment below what you would like to see, and I will do my best to do it and all that jazz. And if there is... yeah, that's pretty much it. Patreon outro. Thank you, Gav, for being my first patron and in the Queen King's Majesty tier. Thank you, Gav, and thank you, Wiccabroni, for being my second patron. Thank you, Wiccabroni, for being in the Witches, Warlocks, Sorcerers here. Thank you, Wiccabroni, and stay sexy, all my sexy muffins. Bye-bye. Secret outro time. So if you were in this situation, would you want a mini of your soulmate, whoever it may be? Personally, I wouldn't because I can barely I would not because I can barely take care of myself. I would not be able to also take care of a mini version of my soulmate. Like, oh my god, that would be too much stress. Anyways, I hope that you all enjoyed and stay sexy, all my sexy muffins. Bye-bye.